If you receive a wound and you ignore it, cover it over, pretend like it's not there, it just gets worse. And if you choose instead to open it up, to clean it, to acknowledge it, then the wound's allowed to heal. This is the natural outpouring of my heart. It's the only thing I can do and remain a sane human being. I was so overwhelmed by the poverty and the pain and the desperation of the people that I encountered in Africa and in Southeast Asia.
Going home after seeing the world and seeing what people really live like is very difficult. Yobel is my response to that. It's my response not to choose apathy and to ignore what happens around the world.
The women there sometimes are used at 50 cents a day. And when I think of that stuff, my heart just nearly shatters. And the only answer to me is to step into people's pain and suffering in any way that I can.
Yobel is a Hebrew word meaning jubilee, basically stating freedom for the captives, turning of tables, and release from slavery.
Yobel is an empowerment organization that seeks to find a way out of poverty or slavery and replace those things with hope and abundant life through awareness, education, and equitable trade. I think it's easy when you encounter oppression and encounter the darkness of the world to be overwhelmed to a place of inability to move, almost a place of apathy. It's only when we're able to see individuals and see the way that we have the opportunity as people to impact individual lives that true change becomes possible. So we started looking for ways that we could impact the villages of the people that we were in relationship with, one at a time. And as we researched, the word fair trade kept popping up. And we really began to see fair and equitable economy as a way of providing change through consistent income that would begin to allow these families to be empowered to provide for themselves in a way that was dignified and in a way that was safe and in a way that that allowed their traditional culture and craftsmanship and skills to be preserved. So we started working toward a fair trade model all around the world, and we began with a community in northern Uganda living on Canaan Farm. And the farm is filled with people that have been displaced from the north, where there's been a civil war going on for the last 24 years. And so these families have started over on Canaan Farm and have had a real need for consistent income. And that's where we came in.
Yobel provided a startup capital for the project. So they provided income that we were able to buy the tools and get a trainer who provided the first training for bamboo. So we trained trainers that later on are now training other people on how to make this bamboo and to meet the specific quality that is required by the market.
We initially started purchasing them at about 2 times the market price, and we're able to increase that within the next few months to 3 times the market price because the quality improved so much.
Two of the people that we work with are two former child soldiers, and were forced away from school and taken out of classrooms to fight in the war. And they have decided to work on the bamboo project to pay for their education. So when we went over last year, we were able to pay them for what they have made, and immediately they went and paid for their school for the next year to come. The other project at Canaan Farm is the tailoring project. It's a small tailoring school that's teaching women how to repair their kids' clothes and to do their own designs and to make bags. And currently we're partnering with that tailoring project to make items that we can bring here to the States and sell through Yobel.
We are retaining about a third of the profits once they sell here in the United States, and putting that toward a project that the women themselves have chosen, which is to build a primary school on Canaan Farm for the children that have to walk so far to go to school. And so we're really excited about pursuing that over the course of the next year. Then other projects that we partner with are organizations that we have learned about and befriended through our study of fair trade, and are doing work around the globe in places that we don't have access to or don't have relationships in. Nightlight International, and they work in Bangkok, Thailand, to rescue women out of prostitution and offer them a job making beautiful jewelry instead. And we work with the trash pickers of Indonesia through the Excess Project, so people living in the slums, making their livelihood from picking up trash, recycling it into beautiful bags. And we get to partner with partners in northern Thailand, and they are working with Burmese refugees who are using the native weaving craft to produce scarves and bags and things like that.
Through the stories of the products that we carry, we're able to raise awareness, and we want to continue to bring that to schools and to churches and communities around our country, and to help them to decide to make a difference in their own communities and abroad.
All of our products are created utilizing fair trade principles, and so they all provide a fair and consistent livable wage for the artisan who creates them. Everything is geared towards sustaining the environment as well as the communities of people that are producing them.
We would like to encourage you to not choose apathy, and to choose to walk into the injustice, and to look more into where your products come from, and to know who produced what you're wearing. It makes a difference. If you need to start small, start with changing your buying habits with coffee and chocolate. You can usually find a fair trade alternative.
Every dollar that you spend is a means of either setting someone free or keeping them enslaved based on the working conditions that they produce the products that you're purchasing under. So by buying fair trade products from Yobel Market and organizations like ours, you are essentially voting for the end of slavery. You're voting for empowerment. So we just really want to encourage you to be cognizant as to what you're voting for with your dollar every day and what it is that you're choosing to spend on.